stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time. No limits, no change, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. No limits, no chains, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. Every shot's a story, every cheer's a spark. Under the lights we make our mark. Beyond the scoreboard, beyond the lines. Out of the box, redefining the grind. The grind. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? You already know it is Wednesday night. It is 9:30. It is Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We're everywhere. It's Cowboys Weekly. Of course, my name is Paul Spencer. That man right there is the sports professor, Eddie Prather. What's going on, Eddie?
Not much. Getting a little bit of needed rain here in Arizona.
Wait a minute. First of all, it's raining in Arizona. I always thought it never rains in Southern California, but it's raining in Arizona?
Yeah, it's August. It's monsoon season in here in Arizona.
I hear. Yeah, we were out there a couple years ago, and I remember it was like rain season. Arizona, you don't think of rain, but man, I tell you what, you guys need it out there, man. You guys need some moisture out there. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, Eddie, real quick, we got Michael Kaepernick checking in. Mike says, yo, I don't know, yo. I mean, I think he's saying, yo, go Cowboys, maybe. I think that's what he's saying, honestly. You know what I mean? But, he didn't say the whole thing. I think he's saying, yo, Cowboys, go Cowboys. That's what I'm saying. But, Eddie, let's get into this, man. We're going to have Norm on the show tonight, a Redskin fan, of course. But he had a family emergency, so it's going to be me and you talking one full hour of Dallas Cowboy football because there's a lot to talk about, Eddie. But we had a preseason game, Eddie. Baltimore Ravens, man. We seen, Cooper Rush playing against us. How did you see this game going into here? I mean, chalk up another loss, but Eddie, I don't care about the loss, honestly. What did you see that you're concerned with or you're positive about, Eddie?
I was positive. There was 3 players on the defensive side. I liked what they did. Renfrey, Houston, and Elam. Elam had an INT in that game, and he had several tackles.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we talked about, in the group chat, Eddie, I told you that guy, Perion Winfrey, he's just showing me something, Eddie. I mean, the way he plays, a big body guy, he's getting it. He's got physical talent. He's got the IQ. And most of all, he has the size to get in and bang, Eddie. I like this kid as depth. I don't think he's going to crack the starting unit. But I tell you what, I think he will definitely make the team as our backup DT.
I think eventually he could crack the starting lineup if we get the same production from the starting defensive tech, or the lack of anything that we're getting from the DD, especially from that first round bust. You know what I'm talking about?
I think you're talking about the Mozzie Smith character that we call a defensive tackle on our team, right? That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, go ahead.
The bum from Michigan.
Exactly. The overrated Michigan hype, Mozzie Smith, that to me, Eddie, he was a product of that Michigan Wolverine defense. He wasn't a one-name stud. I mean, he had some weapons out there on defense. The front four was just nasty, and he was not a one-on-one guy. But I'll tell you what, Eddie, Mozzie Smith better be watching his back, because I'll tell you what, Winfrey, unknown guy. He wants to shock the world. He wants to make that unit. And I tell you what, the boy from UCLA, Toa, he could be up there too, Eddie. I think he's got more value than Mozzie Smith, honestly. As what a fifth, was he sixth round, Eddie? Then we picked up Toa this year.
It was either fifth or sixth round. He's a big boy.
Yeah. I mean, those guys right there, Eddie, Winfrey and Toa. I tell you what, Mozzie Smith better get in the film room, get in the weight room, and he better acknowledge the fact that he's got two dudes looking over the left and right shoulder. So I'll tell you that 100%. You know what I mean? Anybody else that caught your eye? I mean, Eddie, you mentioned Sam Houston. Michael says it right here as well. Houston looked good from what I saw coming off the edge against the Ravens. Now, I watched him in practice, Eddie. Now, this kid is taking the time where he's actually going with Tyler Smith, working with him, saying, hey, what can I beat you on the moves here? The kid is showing something. Sam Houston is really showing me that he wants to make this team, because you think about it, Sam Williams, still we don't know what he is, okay? But if Houston can make this roster, he might be a bookend that we can use for starting or depth, honestly, Eddie.
Yes, talking about Sam Williams, they ought to change it from "Where's Waldo" to "Where's Sam."
Yeah, exactly, 100%. I mean, he's a missing, and even the announcer said it, Eddie. Sam Williams, high price project coming into the NFL where he was drafted, looked good, glimpse and glamours, but he's a milk carton guy, Eddie. When's he show up? I mean, you've been in the league. This is your third year in the league. It's time for you to grasp the system, Eddie. You know what I mean? You're on the 53-man roster for a reason. And right now, I don't know what his job is on the roster, except taken away from someone else that we could use.
The sad thing is that before his knee injury, he looked like he had something.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that knee injury set him back, because they said if you have Parsons on the edge and you have Sam Williams on the edge, you have two good bookends that really mirror themselves. But after the injury, Eddie, time has taken you, and that injury has not come forth and let you pass that by yet. So I don't know. That's why I'm looking for that guy off the edge coming out there. But Mike, speaking of edge, Eddie, here's my problem. I love Donovan Rockazay from Boston College at college, but Eddie, I'm watching this kid play, but here's the thing. Eddie, he can't even catch anybody run the ball. He can't stop the run. He is a bull rush of a pass rush. That's all he is, Eddie. That's all he's a liability at end for us, Eddie.
And that was the one concern, was him being so undersized.
What do you, Eddie? He's a second round pick. What do? Do you just sit him on there and just run him like maybe scheme plays on third down, or it's third and long? You want to get pressure on the QB to get that pressure. Third down guy, Eddie. I'm not having a second round guy being a utility D-line player, because he can't stop the run, Eddie. This conference, this division is going to run all over them, and they're going to go to that left side where he's at.
Do you think he would be better used as a linebacker than at the defensive end?
I thought about that. I thought about saying, okay, you know what? If he's a pass rusher only, but the thing is that your mentality, if you're playing defensive end, all you're doing is you have three moves: bull rush, spin, or just a swim move. That's all you have really as a 3-down, defensive end, a rusher. If you go to linebacker, Eddie, you got to think more IQ. Okay, you got to think about that and say, okay, well, I got to pick the gap, A, B, C gap. He's not that type of guy. I mean, listen, anybody can learn, Eddie, but if what I see from him at defensive end, my thing is, I don't think he's smart enough to choose the gap where he needs to go. If Eberflus says, hey, we're going to run a 4-3, Donovan, you got the A gap. He's going to hit that A gap with strength and nobody's getting through. He's going to nail you. But if you tell him pick a gap, 9 out of 10 times that he's going to pick the wrong gap, because he don't have the IQ to do that. Honestly,
does this show how weak the ACC is for him to dominate like he did?
You know what? I kind of agree with you, Eddie, a little bit because you look at a lot of people coming. Well, we have two this year. We have Phil Maffa, okay, who can run over anybody at Clemson last year, okay, the running back. We have him listed as our fifth running back. Shit, he's behind Deuce Vaughn right now. But my thing, you're completely right, Eddie. They ran over people at Clemson. It's a different league in the NFL. You know what I mean? You're going against hybrid left tackles. You know, a Tyler Guyton can put him on his ass, Donovan Irakie right now. You know, Phil Maffa, he looked good. He had a couple of nice carries in the third and fourth quarter, but I don't know what it is with these ACC guys. I think we need to turn the Eagles page and say, you know what? We need to go out and get some SEC players or some Big Ten players. Stay away from the independents, you know, the non-power five. You know, we need to, you know, stay away from the Big Sky, Eddie, and go to the SEC and get some Georgia, Texas, you know, these big boy Alabama players. That's what we need to do.
And which they did when they drafted Booker. They got themselves
but Eddie, out of position again. You know, another player out of position again. You know, that's. I mean, there is. Yes, you went out and got a Bama first round All-American, but Eddie, you're flipping left side to right side. You know, if you pick him at right side and stay right side, I'm cool with that. But I don't know, Eddie. You know what I mean?
I would play Booker where he played mainly for Alabama, and if it means moving somebody else somewhere else, they need to they need to stick with somebody else, their natural position, at least one.
Well, we talked about that last week, Eddie. Okay, let's just say, like your philosophy was last week, let's move Tyler Guyton over to right side. Let's just say, you know, let's just do it. Let's put Tyler Smith out at left tackle, okay? Let's put him there. Who do you want to put at left guard? I'm going to put Booker at left guard. That's his natural spot, okay? I'm going to go Hoffman at center. I'm going to put BB back at right guard, his natural spot, and I'm moving Guyton to his original spot, right tackle, where he started, 84 games in college and played all of them at right tackle except for one game at left tackle. That's what I would do. But, Eddie, we can't do that now because it's going into week 1 in less than 15 days, Eddie.
The smart thing would have done that before in training camp. I've been preaching that what you just said there about where to put each player. I've been preaching that.
But you know, it shouldn't even have started in preseason in week 1, Eddie. It should have started last year if we were going to do that. You know what I mean? Okay, you go out and get Guyton. Okay, Terrence Steele. Eddie, here's the thing: if I would GM him, I was Jerry Jones. Of course, he's an idiot. But if I was Jerry Jones and I ran this team, Terrence Steele would have saved me $17 million off the cap this year. He would have been gone this year. I would have took Guyton last year, kicked him over to right end or right tackle. Tyler Smith kicks out to his natural left tackle spot. Okay, you know what? BB, you're a hell of a Big 12 player at right guard. You're staying at right guard. You're backup center if I need you. Hoffman, you played your ass off last year. You're starting center for me this year. And you know what? Shit. This year I went out and got an All-American from Alabama, Tyler Booker. Tyler, I'm not moving you to right. You're playing left. Eddie, that unit right there could have been the 90s offensive line that we had back in the day. Power. Yeah. In their natural position.
Even if you had to keep Steele play him at left tackle, even if that would be the only weakness on that offensive line if we did it.
Oh, what, Steele at right? It was Steele at right?
No, at left tackle, because to me, Guyton's more of a right tackle. Guyton's a very good.
Well, I would have cut Steele $17 million off the cap, Eddie. That we paid him. We paid him $24 million. If we would have cut him, we would only paid him $7 million as guaranteed money. We would have kept $17 million.
Tyler Smith would be the left tackle, which he played some at college. Tyler Smith played several positions in college.
He's played everything he's played. He's played guard and tackle on the left side. He's never played center onto the right side. But his natural spot is left tackle. I want to put him in his right spot. I mean, you think about it. Tyler Smith's out of position. Tyler Guyton's out of position. BB's out of position. Now Booker's out of position. Eddie, that's 4 people on the offensive line that's out of position in year 2 or less. That is something serious, Eddie. You don't see that in the NFL. You don't see that.
Yeah, that's what happened when you have a GM that thinks he's the head coach, an owner that thinks he's a GM and a coach.
Exactly. He's everything. He's down all the way to the water boy. He's cleaning the jock straps. He's the laundry guy. He's everything. He has his hands at everything, Eddie. But Eddie, real quick, let me talk about this. Joe Milton, Eddie, 2 drives in the first opening drives, -5 yards, and a safety, Eddie, off the jump. How do you feel about Milton, Eddie?
I'm more concerned about the offensive line that failed to protect him.
Okay. I get that point. A lot, I went back and watched it, Eddie, watching that sack. I listened to the commentary when I watched it, and I'm thinking like, no, we're not even going to listen to the commentary. Let me turn that voice off and rewind it, watch it again. Eddie, that was a clear offensive line screw up. That was a messed up offensive line where a guy came just on a basic delay blitz. Nobody picked him up, Eddie. Nobody picked him up. Joe Milton had no time. Of course, you have eyes in the back of your head as a QB, but Eddie, that linebacker just came in on a delayed stunt, tore him up, and the offensive line had its back turned, Eddie. So I can't blame that on Milton.
And we don't have any running backs that can block either.
Oh my God, can we talk about that, Eddie?
Oh,
Eddie, I'll tell you what, the best running back block we had this week was by the littlest guy on the field, Deuce Vaughn. That was how bad it was. He stood up one guy on the third team, but you're right. We have no pass blocking because, man, Malik Davis got laid out a couple times. I just don't even know. Phil Maffa, he didn't even pass block anybody. Honestly, they didn't even put him in a pass block situation, and that's something I would do in preseason, Eddie. I would make sure that I see this guy pass block, run a play where you're chipping off the end and make him pass block. I want to see what you can do.
And he's our biggest running back, Maffa.
Yeah, yes, he's the biggest guy.
If you're a big running back, if you're a big running back like Maffa and you can't run block, you ought to not even be on an NFL roster. I'd be making you do blocking drills.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you talk about ACC football. ACC is that little hybrid, get out of the pocket, run the ball down, east-west. We don't see that in the ACC. No team does it. Miami doesn't do it. Clemson doesn't do it. Teams like to get outside. They want to stay away from the physicality of the Big 12 or the Big 10 and the SEC. And Maffa is showing that he has the body to run through you, run not around you and through you, but he can't pass block, Eddie. That's the problem. When you're 240 pounds solid and you're not even pass blocking, that's the issue to me. That's an issue.
The ACC players, wussies. Yeah. There's another word. There's another word that sounds like wussy, but with a different letter at the beginning. That's what how I describe ACC players.
100%. Michael says, so what you're saying is the Cowboys have no running and no offensive line, that Jalen Carter and Eagle will be salvaged. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we don't know what this offensive line is, okay? With the God, I'm even drawing a blank. What's the guy from Kansas State, our O-line coach, Cooper, coming from Kansas State. He's a guru. Eddie. He knows how to play people at Kansas State. He's put people out of position with that running game. But we need to see starters gelling. I understand you're in practice playing 7-on-7 starting guys. Our 5 guys are playing every day 7-on-7s against the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. They know what we're going to do. We know what they're going to do. That doesn't show me anything. I need to see. I'm not worried about BB. I'm really not. I'm not worried about Tyler Smith. In a way, I'm not worried about Terrence Steele. In a way, I am, but I'm really not, Eddie, because I know he's played the position. I'm worried about Guyton, how he's going to perform in his second year. And I'm worried about Booker translating to the right side, Eddie, because center makes that call. You know what I mean? And when you're going from left to right, that verbiage is totally different, Eddie. A lot of times you look at Alabama, Booker can pull. I mean, when he pulls out from that center and he's a leading blocker, he looks great. But Eddie, if you go back and look at Bama, they always pulled from the left to right when Milton ran the ball. He's never pulled as opposing guard coming out of the left and choosing to left, hybrid left. He doesn't do that. He's more of that right side pull guy. And that's totally different, Eddie. That's something I need to see. I'm not saying the Eagles will salivate I think if this team gels, but my God, man, we haven't seen these guys gel in preseason yet. They haven't even started yet. You know what I mean? That's the only worries that I have.
To be fair with Michael, if the Cowboys offensive line keep on playing like that badly, then it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get very ugly.
It could get. I mean, Eddie, let's just put it this way: offensive line, if Guyton goes down, Nate Thomas, Asim Richards is your backup. Okay, if Tyler Smith goes down, hey, we got TJ Bass, baby, TJ Bass. Okay, if BB goes down, we got Hoffman playing center, which I'm cool. I'm okay there. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But if Booker goes down at right guard, we got Siddiqui Charles that can switch sides, and then Lalel Collins. Okay, a washed-up guy off waivers that nobody wanted. If Steele goes down, we have a rookie, Cornelius, coming in. We're screwed at depth, Eddie. We're screwed big time.
Charles is also washed up too.
Everybody as our backup is washed up. I mean, the only guy that's legit that can start is Hoffman. That's it. Anybody else is a scrub.
Cornelius might have some potential because he did look pretty good with Oregon. But the problem is that
he might be starting. He might be starting pretty soon over Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele becomes, the revolving door that he is. We'll see.
So I'm going to be a wait and see on Cornelius just because he is a rookie and a young guy, but he was pretty darn good offensive tackle there at Oregon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree with that. And plus, he's a hybrid guy, and he can get out in space, too. That's the thing. Oregon likes to get out in space. They have their left tackles, get out and create space. Terrence Steele is a one-man, one-arm push guy. If I beat you, I beat you. If not, I'm not moving off the spot. Cornelius at least can get outside and give you that movement, downfield.
You have to be athletic to play at Oregon on the offensive line.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You have to be. I mean, you have to be one of the hybrid guys. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, they took, I forgot what the kid's name was. He was a 4-star tight end, and they moved him on the line because he can move. He's physical and he can move. That's just Oregon football, running gun, going back to Chip Kelly days, Eddie, where you got to run under 5 second on an offensive line with that kind of offense. But I want to ask you about the wide receivers here, man. Of course, we didn't see Pickens. We didn't see Lamb. Eddie, I watched Ryan Fournier play. Eddie, I think I could have caught more balls than he did. I mean, his route running sucks, okay? His IQ sucks. His hands suck. And he's listed right now as 4'5" wide receiver. Eddie, wide receiver, we have no depth to. Tolbert at 5 foot, 4'9" is our third wide receiver right now.
And don't forget, Tolbert's number in that game was 1 catch. What was it, 2 yards?
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. And then Mingo is out with a knee injury, so he catches one ball it was a beautiful ball, downfield for 50 yards, but then the next play he comes up hobbling. You know what I mean? Well, what are you going to do with Mingo, right? I don't know, Eddie. But
he seems a little brittle. Mingo, he was banged up in Carolina too at times. So
I mean, I honestly think we're Eddie Pickens, Lamb, of course. I'm going to say Turpin is going to make the team, of course. Mingo, you're going to keep because he's going to either go on the PUP or he's going to be on the practice squad for right now. He'll make the 53-man roster. But the other guys I'm thinking about, you have really 3 guys that can really make this team, Eddie. Holden, Tolbert, and Fournier. You're probably going to keep 6 wide receivers. Tolbert, Pickens, Turpin, Mingo. That's 4. Who's going to be your odd man out? Tolbert, Fournier, Holden?
Tolbert has even looked worse than Fournier. That shows how bad Tolbert has looked.
And Tolbert's really our third wide receiver if you think about it, because Turpin's a gimmick player, but he's 3 to me. But Tolbert really is our third wide receiver, Eddie.
Yeah, but you have to go by what we have seen out of Tolbert in this exhibition preseason.
And the thing is, you're playing against 2s and 3s, Eddie, and you're not catching balls at all. You know what I mean? You're not playing starters, Eddie. You're playing a vanilla, a second, third team vanilla defense, and you still can't get open in space. That tells me a lot. And you're in your what? 4th year, Eddie? You don't get it. They don't get it.
4th or 5th year.
Yeah. Let me get some of the comments. Michael says, if Dak has to throw the 30 times more a game, will that be an issue? I think it's going to come down to that. Schottenheimer says, run the ball. But I tell you what, Well, that's what I mean. The offensive line is a question mark. The running backs are a question mark. Well, we know we can score with wide receivers. Dak has shown to throw 4,500 yards, a lot of picks, but he can score getting the ball downfield. I don't want to become a 60-40 throw the ball team, but I think it might happen. Eddie, you think so?
Well, what we have at running back, that was forced to be that. Probably going to have to be forced to do that because Sanders looked like a bum. Devontae Williams looked like a bum. Deuce Vaughn is too small.
Yeah, yep. And I mean, to me, it's going to be like playing from behind. You're going to be playing from behind, Eddie. When they score on you and you want to run the ball, and say if you go with 3 and out, they come down and score, you're down 7. Okay, well, I'm not going to abandon the run, being down 7. Another 3 and out. Say you get a first down, the second drive, you get 1 first down, then you go 3 and out after that. They come down, they score a field goal. You're down 10-0. Now you got to play catch up. That's when Dak has to throw the ball because the offensive line can't create enough space on the run game, and the running backs can't do shit. So I think we will be throwing the ball a lot more this year, Eddie. I really do.
And our defense is probably going to be giving up a lot of points too. So it's going to be
the defense. I think they'll be all right, but Parsons has to be signed, which we'll talk about, a little bit later. But to me, before we go defense, I want to ask you something as well. The running backs, Eddie, you mentioned the running backs. I know we're not talking about the game coming this weekend. How great are you ready to see Jaden Blue this weekend? Because he's starting this weekend. How do you feel?
I don't feel good about any of our running backs.
Okay, here's the thing. Javonte Williams hasn't played this offseason, of course, in preseason, only in OTAs and camp, 7-on-7, 11, versus each other. When they had the game against the Chargers, he didn't play in the preseason game, but in the dual scrimmage, he couldn't gain a yard, okay, during that scrimmage that he had back and forth. Sanders looks good against your own team, but when he plays another teams in a inter-squad practice, he looks like crap, okay? Deuce Vaughn is way too small. Jaden Blue starts this weekend. Jaden Blue, I want to say he's probably one of the fastest wide running backs in the game coming out. But, Eddie, he's Deuce Vaughn size. He can't run through the middle. He's got to be an east-west, get out on a sweep outside, toss guy. Where does he fit in with this, Eddie? He's a home run hitter, but where does he fit in, Eddie, in this offense? He can't pass block.
I question his hands. 5 fumbles last year at Texas.
That is true, but I don't think they're going to use him. I mean, of course, as a running back, you are going to be the safety valve. I do get that point that you got to have some soft hands to catch the ball. You can't have some fighters' hands out there, but concrete. But my concern, Eddie, is he can't pass block, number one. He's only that speed guy. He's a home run guy anytime he touches the ball. We've seen him at Texas. Once he creates space, you're not catching him. But, Eddie, he's light on his pocket, man. I think he's like 175 pounds wet, maybe. He's a small back, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm still teed off that we didn't take Scatterboo when we had a chance in the 3rd round.
Well, you know what? I really wanted him in the 3rd round, but I think what pisses me off, Eddie, is our 3rd round was Siobhan Rebel Jr. coming out of it with an ACL injury. That's what pissed me off. If I would have said, okay, you know what are my needs? Running back is a definite need. We lost Jonte. Of course, we're not getting him. All the running backs were going. Who was a Henderson, Judkins, Henderson, they're gone. So Scatterboo was number 4 on your roster. Really, it's a pound guy, what you need. So I'm thinking like, okay, 3rd round, I go back and look at him. I'm like, Siobhan Rebel, cornerback, injured ACL. Why take him? Why not Scatterboo? I mean, I go back at that draft, Eddie, that draft night, and I'm thinking like, why? But coulda, shoulda, woulda, Eddie. We couldn't do anything else, right? I mean, now's we have to live with it. We have to make our life with what we took, Eddie, right? We're stuck with it no matter what.
I guess Will McClay has been neutered by Jerry when it comes to draft.
Well, that's what happens when you go to, you spend a lot of time with Jerry. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we're always good at drafting, but some of the things are questionable. There's always that one bust, Mozzie Smith. Look at last year. Who was our guy? Mark Nealon. He's already injured. He was supposed to be your next, defensive end there. the team with Parsons. He's injury got him, but still not that greatest, and this year, God, you think about it.
To me, it's more Guyton being forced to play a position that he shouldn't be playing than if you have Guyton at right tackle. I think
Sure.
A lot better.
We have to give him time.
Yeah, Nealon was just a stupid pick. You don't draft
It was. Yeah, Marcus Nealon. Yeah, no, you don't draft. I mean, well, then again, Eddie, Tyler Smith, he was from a non-power 5, Eddie,
No, I'm talking about him, Nealon coming from a MAC school.
Oh yeah, one of those. That's when you got to watch Friday night at 3:00 in the morning if they're on one of those games. You know what I mean? Michael says the Eagles have their own issues on O-line, melodic concussion, Dickerson knee, and I think if melodic can play a game, it's a big that is a bigger issue. I agree. The left tackle spot is your blind side, but you guys are in a better situation where you guys can gel your team. We're still plugging 4 new players on the offensive line in different positions within 2 years. 4 of our starters are second year or less in different spots on the offensive line from college, regarding starts. But I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything or really think about it until week 1, because you can either shock the world or you can crawl under a rock. You know what I mean, Eddie? So we'll see week 1. But Michael says also, do you think the Cowboys should try to get Mechie? Yes. Why not?
Hey, Michael, screw your Eagles for taking.
But the thing is, Eddie, we do need another wide receiver, because if Mingo, you think about this, Tolbert is not a physical guy, okay? Holden is just a basic, one catch speed guy down the middle. You have Turpin, who's a slot guy. Tolbert can't catch a cold right now. Fournier, I don't even know he's going to make this team. You have to go out and find a guy that clears waivers, Eddie. You need a guy that's, a 6'1" wide receiver, a physical guy on the outside, because God forbid, man, if you lose Pickens or you lose Lamb, you have no physicality on the outside. All you have is speed. That's all you have. That's all you have, Eddie. But I like Mechie. I would have picked him up, but I want that bigger wide receiver, Eddie. I need a big wide receiver, Hell, Terrell Owens is still out there. Why not take a flyer on him? He's still physical.
Man, we don't need that.
Foster Covers checking in. Foster does a great Bears County podcast on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. Foster, I tell you what, Foster, man, your Bears are kind of surprising me. But my question to you, if you're still on, how long does Caleb Williams play until Badgett comes in? Because Caleb Williams is one sandwich short of having a mental breakdown on the field. I want to know how long he's going to start. But they do look good, I'll tell you that. I do believe the Eagles should have prior to a CB2 in a trade over Mechie. You went out and got your Corey Bennett as well. He could be a starter too. But the thing is, Ringo and Adoree Jackson, to me, keep those 2 there. Let them battle it out, because if he's going to play on the right side, you got to cover Pickens or Lambs. And when you bring down Cooper DeJean in a nickel, or you move him back outside, whatever you want to do, that gives me one advantage wherever he's not. Wherever Adoree Jackson or Ringo is, that is going to be my mismatch, where I hope you're covering one of my best wide receivers, because that's a mismatch to me. But I don't think they should have gone out and got a corner. I think you got to give time to Bennett, and it's preseason. You got to give Ringo and Adoree Jackson a little time too. But it is a concern as well too. And
then the Eagles needed a 3rd or 4th receiver just in case one of the 2 receivers went down.
Yeah, I mean, they're stacked. I mean, you got Johnny Wilson, Eddie from college. He couldn't catch anything. That was his big bugaboo. That's what he was a top 10 pick if he could have caught the ball all throughout the season. But the thing is, he's learned how to catch a ball. You know what I mean? He's learned how to catch a ball here. And at 6'6", God, he's a red zone threat. He's something down there that's a gazelle running down the sideline. You have a 6'1" corner. Well, you just gained 7 inches on an arm span, and you gained about a foot on the vertical. So high point a ball and just throw it out there to him,
He's the Eagles' new Harold Carmichael.
Yeah, I mean, he can fly down there. He's starting to catch balls and everything like that. But I want to ask you about the defense real quick, Eddie. We talked about Mozzie Smith. Diggy's going to be starting, okay? I'm just going to assume Parsons is going to be signed. He's going to start. But I tell you what, Nealon hasn't showed me a damn thing yet. We talked about him right now. My other guy that I really think, man, I like Tyrus Wheat, man. I like him, Eddie. He's got a motor. You know what I mean? I like this kid. What do you think?
Who was you
Wheat,
say?
Tyrus Wheat, off the edge. He's
Another
been
young
playing
guy
pretty
that
good.
I think he has heart, unlike some of the other
Yes.
players on the defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing me something in his I think it's his second to third. First year, I think it was practice squad. Last year, he actually started a couple games, got a couple sacks, looks pretty good. He replaced when Nealon went out. He replaced Parsons when he was out too. Got 2 or 3 sacks in like 3 weeks. He has the motor ready, and you're right. He shows heart where if a play is not his direction, he's not giving up. He's chasing the ball. He plays helmet on helmet, which is great.
We have Winfrey in Houston that showed stuff too, pretty good stuff against the
I
Ravens.
like Winfrey. I like Houston. I like our backup players because they're showing me something. But what I'm worried about is that linebacker. Overshawn's coming off the injury. Murray is out there. He's going to be a nasty player. But then you're playing Sanborn. You know what I mean? That's a little guy out there, IQ guy, but IQ doesn't win, Eddie, on power. You know what I mean?
He's good if you have some athleticism, but Sanborn is just one of the not slow, smaller linebackers that
Okay.
maybe
Now,
a special team player at best.
I think so too. I mean, the only reason Sanborn came over is because of Eberflus. You played there with him at Chicago, brought him over. He's an IQ player, but I don't know if he's going to fit with these 3 guys if they come back healthy. If Overshawn comes back healthy, Murray, I think those are solid guys inside and out. Okay, right there. But my guy, Eddie, I tell you what, I usually don't say this because it's preseason, Eddie, but one guy that we drafted this year, linebacker out of Florida, Shamar James, this kid, Eddie, is playing like he's an all-pro right now, making tackles, assuming responsibility, calling out where people should be. Shamar James, Eddie, if injuries do happen and he gets his chance, I don't think once he gets his chance, he's giving it up, Eddie. I think Shamar James is the real deal, honestly.
I think he has the potential to be our steal of the draft.
I think so. I think he's the Deron Bland of 2 years ago, Eddie. I think he is. I mean, he is a big guy. He's a smart guy, a physical guy. I think this kid could be. The only way that I see him getting playing time, Eddie, is if Murray gets injured or Overshawn is not ready for the season. That's the only way I see him getting in there. Or, a third down nickel, linebacker coming in to play like a 3-4 or a 4-4 situation on a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. I could see him. But give this guy a shot, Eddie. What I see in preseason, this kid looks good. He's everywhere. He's what I call a lunch pail guy.
Isn't Bill banged up?
Who?
Bill.
Oh, Marquise Bell. Well, yeah, he's the other guy. And remember 2 years ago, he played a full season at linebacker from safety. He's not afraid to put his helmet in there too, Eddie. He's our backup safety, but I think he's 4th on the roster for linebacker as a utility guy. But I don't know. I mean, I like him if you're going to play speed.
He's so small to play linebacker. I like him safety a lot.
But he did play a whole season at linebacker 2 years ago, and he had a lot. I mean, he was up in like the 80 category for tackles, Eddie. He's not afraid to put his helmet down, but you don't want a guy that's clearing 170 playing linebacker. He's more of a hybrid. He's more of a hybrid guy.
Yeah, because injuries will catch up to somebody playing linebacker at that size.
Exactly. How do you feel about the corners, Eddie? I mean, Diggs and Bland, I'm not worried about. Diggs is still nursing. Okay, you have Rebel and Elam as our backups. How do you feel?
I like Elam as our 3rd cornerback.
Okay, put him in the nickel. Okay. How do you feel about Rebel coming off the ACL?
I would have not drafted him. I just avoid. First of all, even before the injuries, who is this competition? East Carolina. He didn't face anybody in college.
Very true.
I'm scared. I would rather take a player from like North Dakota State or South Dakota State that's always playing the top teams in their division Well, which I think they play tougher teams than what East Carolina usually plays.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, coming off the injury, I don't know what he's going to be. I mean, I looked at glimpses of him. The plays that he's, performing in OTAs and camp, playing 7-on-7, 11-on-11 with the inter squad, he does look good, but there's a difference between inter squad games and getting on the field and playing a full game, NFL versus NFL ready, nothing vanilla. I want to see how he's going to make a cut because you're coming off an ACL, it's hard to make that. You can make that cut just going one-on-one in an OTA or preseason game, but when you're NFL, they're going to give you everything that you have. I mean, you're going out, you're playing a jam situation and he's jamming you. He's going to give you one move to the right and he's going to take off inside slot to the left. And you got to make that inner move off an ACL. And Eddie, when you're a DB, I mean, you're on an island by yourself. It's 1 millisecond, you're screwed. You make the wrong decision, you're done. And that's what I want to see, how he has confidence in that ACL injury. But third round, man, it's make or break this kid this year. I'm not giving him a pass because of his injury. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to do it. As a third round pick, you know what you got yourself into because you had to be in that draft process, talking to the scouts saying, I know I can come back. I know I can come back. Well, you better show me you can come back quickly. But Eddie, what are you looking for this game against the Falcons? Anything?
Just seeing if how the offensive line, if they can get Blue any kind of space at all.
Now, who's starting this week, Eddie? Any starters playing this week?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything.
The only one I heard is Jaden Blue will be starting and Booker will be starting. That's it. Because Booker, they want to give Booker all the work that he can on that right side. Because he played damn near the whole last game by himself.
Yeah, Milton probably should start too to give him more reps.
Eddie, let me ask you this. I love coaching as well. And my last preseason game every year, week one is my starters playing a couple, first quarter. Second game, you might play one drive. If that third game, I don't care. Of course, NFL is different, but to me, that third game, the offense has to go out and show me something. My starters have to go out and show me one thing that you're ready for the season coming up. If you're the coach, would you put Dak out there for one series with the offensive line?
Yes, just to make sure that he's not totally coming into the first regular season game without any kind of playing time.
I agree. To me, I'm putting Dak out there for one drive, at least one drive. I mean, if you go 3 and out and you overthrow 2 balls to Lamb or you overthrow Pickens or whatever, get your ass back out there and give me one more drive. You don't leave on negativity. You only leave when it's positive to me, because if you end your preseason game on a bull crap throw, overthrow a guy, well, you know what? That's going to be in your mind going into week one to me. I want you to out there at least give me a drive, because number one, the offensive line has not played together unless you're in practice playing together. Number two, the wide receivers have not played a game together. Number three is you don't hear "here we go" anymore. That cadence is gone. That is gone. I want to hear the cadence right now with Dak Prescott getting familiarity with Cooper, with Guyton, with Booker, with Steele, with Tyler Smith. I want to hear that camaraderie. And number one, I want to see how the backs hit the hole, because you got to be used to this offense going to week one. And that's what scares me. I don't think anybody's starting. The only person that's starting is Jaden Blue this week, and Booker's going to be starting. The defense, I heard what they're saying to me is who is going to be starting. They're going to be starting Sanborn at linebacker, and they're going to be playing pretty much 10 backups playing on the defensive line plus corners and safeties this week, which tells me nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing.
I just hope we get to see more of Houston and Winfrey, just to see if they keep on playing as well as they did against the Ravens.
Yep. Who's your long shot to make this team, Eddie? Who's your long shot to make this team?
Houston. I think Winfrey's a safe pick to make the team, but I think Houston is a nice long shot pick.
Okay. I mean, looking at the rookies, from 54 to 90 race, well, 80 something right now. I agree with you. I do think Houston makes a team. I think Winfrey makes a team. All of our rookie class makes the team here. who's the one guy that is going to be surprised? You're not going to be surprised when they say Dallas has put on the practice squad one guy. Who's that one guy that was on the team, Eddie, that's going to be on the practice squad this year? If he clears waivers, he clears waivers. Who's the one guy?
I thought it was going to be Deuce Vaughn, but I think maybe Deuce Vaughn might make the team the way the other running backs have looked.
How many running backs do you want to keep, Eddie? How many would you keep? Because running back, right now, you're by committee. You're Williams, Sanders, and Blue are your top three. That's a committee running back. That might be 1,000 yards combined, all three. Okay, combined, Eddie.
Yeah. And there's a decent chance that they might not even reach that number combined the way they looked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, as a committee, you should get 80 yards a game times 17. I'm no mathematician, but that's over 1,000 yards. You know what I mean? But Jaden Blue, I definitely is going to make the team. I think they have a package for him, of course. And if you have to choose between Phil Maffa and Deuce Vaughn, who are you taking?
I would keep Deuce because he has more heart. Maffa doesn't look like he has any heart, any guts.
If it's 3rd and 1, Eddie, if it's 3rd and 1 on the goal line right now, you're down 5 points with the last play, 4th and goal, down 5 points, touchdown wins the game. You're walking off here. You just called a timeout. It's 4th and 1, 4th and goal, Eddie. No time left on the clock, one play. Who you putting in at running back, Eddie? Who's your running back on 4th and 1?
I don't trust Maffa the way he has looked.
Okay.
That's how bad it is. I would trust a 5'5" running back over Maffa.
So you wouldn't put Vaughn in there on 4th and goal, would you?
No, I would probably put Sanders at that spot.
Sanders, okay. To me, I have no confidence in these running backs. I'm going, you know what? I'm going I right, twins left, and I'm having a fake, 22 blast here up the middle, and I'm rolling out, and I'm hitting Ferguson on the opposite side coming across the middle there. I am using my tight end. I have no confidence in this running game.
Or Shoemaker. I think Shoemaker could be used in that.
Well, yeah, I think he is going to be using a lot of this, because I think they're going to go a lot of 12 personnel because the offensive line is not 100%. You got to use 2 tight ends, and I think one of them is going to be on Tyler Guyton's side. I think it's either Ferguson's going to be lined up on the line to help give a chip block to Guyton, or it's going to be Shoemaker on the opposite side giving a chip block too to the weak side as well. So that's what scares me 100% as well. But and if we come out of this game losing, are you going to be frustrated or no?
The only reason I won't get frustrated because we usually are not a preseason team.
Yeah,
even back in the 90s when we were dominating, we still always went 0 and whatever in the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, preseason is just for the guys that are showcasing. You ever watch that show Hard Knocks, Eddie? You ever seen that yet?
Yeah.
I just watched the episode where tonight with the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Sean McDermott, man, I love the guy as a coach. In the opening of the show, he said that, preseason is meant for that 54th guy. We're going to take 3 guys on special teams that can make this team because I want to see heart. I want to see attitude. And that's what it is, Eddie. That's, who your 53-man roster is. But there's always that, 3 to 4 man guy out there that comes out there that they put their heart on the line. They're the Moose, Daryl Johnson type players, Eddie. They'll put their neck on the line just to make the team to wear that star. And a lot of these teams, Eddie, from 54 to 90-man rosters, from week 1, the preseason there in OTAs, 40 players don't make a team, Eddie. But I'll tell you what, there's 31 other teams out there that are looking at film. Who shows the right heart? Who has that mentality that can play for us? If you don't make this team, you have 31 other teams that you can make a roster for, Eddie. It's an audition. There's tape out there,
What happened with Kurt Warner? They had tape of him when he went to training camp with the Packers, I believe it was. Then
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of players out there. There's a lot of players out there that this audition out there. We cut you, but you go to another team. You might stay on the practice squad for 1 year, but then you get your shot, and that's when you ball out. I mean, a lot of these players are the same way, but. And I don't know what this preseason is going to look like. I mean, next week we're going to actually have one of our guys, He does a show on Wednesday night, Big Blue Power Hour. He's going to be hopping on. Dan Connor's going to be hopping on with us next week. And make sure you check that out, too. Big Blue Power Hour is going to be back next week at Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., right before our show, to talk about the Giants. And also, he's going to do double duty. We're going to have him up on our show to talk about the Giants. And once again, Norm, if you're listening out there, or your family members from Cole County Entertainment and Out of the Box, make sure you reach out to Norm. He had a family emergency tonight. He wasn't going to be our guest, so prayers go out to him for, a speedy recovery, whatever may happen. So, Norm, we're thinking about you, brother, from All Out of the Box here. So, and Eddie, next Friday, man, we got something going on, don't we, Eddie?
Oh, it's football season about to start.
It is, Eddie. College Football Frenzy, talking college football top 25 each week. Myself and Eddie are going to be talking about some college football. Eddie, that weekend is going to be crazy. It's not the weekend that we're ready for, but Eddie, can you believe football actually starts this weekend? Kansas State, Iowa State is the top game this week, Eddie. Saturday at noon.
That's not a bad game at all to open up
It's
with.
not. It's definitely not. It's definitely not. I can't wait. I'll be watching it. I already told Kay at whatever we need to do, let's get it done before 11:30 because I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? At 12 o'clock, my TV's on, ready to watch some college football. But I can't wait, man. Can't wait. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of shows lined up.
I got a message for our guest next week. Hey, Connors, I'm coming for you, buddy. I'm coming for you.
He's definitely going to hop on next week. Real quick, guys, I just want to go through some shows here. Guys, listen, Out of the Box Sports Entertainment is powered with Cow County Entertainment. Make sure you follow them, too. We're two networks putting everything together. So make sure you follow, share, subscribe to them as well. If you see something we don't have, they might have it. They don't have it, we'll have it. Between everybody, we will have it. Also, the Bat Cave Live Wednesday morning with Ken Fry, giving you all the New York Mets out there. Guys, next Tuesday, the shit is getting real. It's about to hit the fan. The NFC East War Room each week. Good old-fashioned trash talking. Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and I always say Redskins. I'm sorry, but I say Redskins. Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m., the NFC East War Room, hosts from every team. Of course, College Football Frenzy Friday night starting next week as well. Dan and I, Thursday nights, the NFL Weekly Talk. We're going to talk about the whole NFL as well. And also Monday Night Football pre-countdown every Monday night, 7:45. We're going to make it 7:30, but 7:45 usual, depending how long it goes. Talking that. And Thursday Night Football as well. So make sure you follow us everywhere. Here's our schedule, guys. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We got something for everybody. So make sure you check that out as well. But Dan, you know what, real quick before we get out of here, I got to mention this guy right here, Jason Fine, 1-800-HURT-123, Attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims, 3 convenient locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey, Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, and Pittsburgh. Make sure you mention Out of the Box Sports Entertainment for all your injury needs. Guarantee it. No recovery, no fee. Not 50, not 45, not 35. The guaranteed rate when you're a family member of Out of the Box. Mention those magical words, Out of the Box Sports Entertainment, and no recovery, no fee. And it's 33.33%. You're never going to find that from any other lawyer. So make sure you reach out to Jason Vine, 1-800-HURT-123, and mention those magical words, Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. So, a couple comments real quick before we get out of here. I know you have Pickens at wide receiver too. Would you be open to possibly trading for a Tyreek Hill? Hell no.
No. I do not want somebody that abuses women and children on my team. Screw Tyreek Hill.
Okay. I disregard that off football stuff, Eddie, but I'll give you the football term that I wouldn't want him. He's a head case, number one. Okay. He's an eye person. He's a knucklehead. Yes, speedster. Great wide receiver. Run routes, knows the game. Everything is there. The cheetah is there. But my thing is this. He wants to be top 5, top 6 wide receiver in the NFL money-wise. Okay. Pickens, if he stays healthy 1 year and keeps his head straight, I'd rather keep Pickens at 25 years old? I'd rather keep him. He's a bigger wide receiver. That's what we need. We already have the second fastest guy in the NFL in Turpin. I do not want him. Plus, it's $30 million a year. I do not want the cheetah. I don't want another cancer in my locker room when my owner is the true statement who just beat cancer, Jerry Jones. You know what I mean? I don't want it, Eddie.
The only receiver on Miami I would even would close to think to want is Waddle.
Well, that's the thing. You have two good wide receivers. And the thing is, Waddle and Tyreek Hill are in the top 7 of wide receivers being paid in the NFL, Eddie. When you have two wide receivers, we talk about T. Higgins and what's his name, Jamar Chase, cracking the $70 million barricade between two wide receivers. Well, they're together, both of them at $70 million too. And they can't even get out of the first round just like us, Eddie. They can't even get to the playoffs, Eddie. You know? So I don't want Tyreek Hill. No.
I forgot Waddle got a new contract. I thought he was still in a rookie contract.
No, he got paid. I mean, he got paid. I mean, they had to bring in a couple of Solomon Brinks trucks, everything in there, and they brought it in for him. Also, what about a reunion with Amari Cooper? Eddie, we talked about this. Amari Cooper, who is available. He's not going to come cheap, though.
Way too much money for a guy that hasn't been really productive for the last couple years.
Well, you know what? Let me look at something real quick. I want to look at Amari Cooper's contract. He is an agent now, but I want to see what he was last year, Eddie, because Cleveland overpaid for him because we gave up a fifth. We only got a 5th round pick for that, but he wanted. Remember, we wouldn't sign him for $20 million. That was the issue. Remember?
Yep.
Let me see what he made with Cleveland last year, Eddie. I'm kind of curious about that.
This Cole Beasley.
Well, the Cowboys gave him a 5-year, $100 million contract, was very smart at that time as it went up. But last year, Eddie, let's just see here. Well, last year he was making $23 million a year, Eddie. He wants, let's just say he doesn't make 23, Eddie. Let's just say he contacts his agent and says, hey, I'll go back to the Cowboys as wide receiver 3, but I want $20 million guaranteed. $20 million a year, 2 years, 40 million, guaranteed money, 20 million. Give me 1 year guaranteed. Would you take that?
I probably no, because he hasn't, like the last couple of years have been, and he's not a youngster anymore either. So I don't think he's going. I think his productivity is going to keep on going down.
I mean, listen, if he comes in there and gives me, a 1-year deal for $10 million, it's not league minimum, but you give me a 1-year, $10 million deals, I'll take a flyer on that.
Yeah. 1 year, $10 million. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mike says, I think Amari might be come cheap with a good third wide receiver option, and he can play inside and outside, move CD to slot. I do like that, Michael. Yes, if he did come over, Amari's always been that physical guy that can play the sticks, play that physical presence on outside. And then you can either move, CD in his natural slot in the slot there and keep Pickens outside. Or if you want to go 5 wide, 4 wide under the gun, put Dak in the shotgun, and you put Turpin on one of the sides. That's complete mismatch. You can run, wheel routes, vertical routes, in and goes. That would be a great thing. And then use your security blanket as maybe a Amari Cooper, 3rd and 7, move the sticks, get 8 yards, move the sticks. I do like that, but if it's cheap, yeah. But if it's a price tag, it's not worth it because, Eddie, here's the thing. If Pickens balls out next year, can you imagine a price tag for that?
He's probably going to get like at least $30 million a year, at least.
And that's the thing, Eddie. I mean, right now we're hearing the right things. We're seeing the right things with Pickens and Lamb. Lamb is not the guy who says, I need 100 balls a year. I don't see that in him. He's the guy that wants to win. Pickens, he just wants to play, but the problem is he's a diva. And if let's just say, Eddie, let's just say Pickens gets 12 touchdowns next year with, let's just say, a 1,000-yard season. That's good in the NFL, Eddie. That's good as a second wide receiver. You're going to be demanding $25 to $30 million a year, and you're not going to take a 1-year deal. As a free agent, you just auditioned for 31 other teams, Eddie. Somebody's going to give you the money who has the money. Dallas doesn't have the money to do that.
Personality-wise, I can see CD Lamb kind of being like Chris Carter and Pickens being Randy Moss. Personality-wise.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Michael, you're right on the spot. A 1-year contract, 10 to 13. I'm okay with that. To me, what I'm doing is a lot of contracts. Everybody wants guaranteed money. That's what I'm here about the Parsons contract, which, Eddie, I don't even think we get into that tonight because the bottom line is he's not signed, no movement yet. So let's just leave that alone until we get some good news. You agree?
Yeah. Are you starting to come to my thinking about about Parsons maybe not showing up?
No, I think he shows up. What
Yes.
I told on Sully Squad, this is what I said. I think Jerry Jones knows he's going to sign him, but I think what's going to happen is the banner's being raised at the link, okay, opening night. What I think Jerry Jones comes out either that day or the night before and says, contract signing. Parsons has been signed to a 4-year deal. We've inked him. He's playing tomorrow because he wants all the limelight taken off that banner that's called the Eagles Super Bowl. And now, that victory right there, he wants the limelight. That's when he signs Parsons. I think it gets done, Eddie, but I like Michael right here. 1 year, $13 million. To me, it's all guaranteed money, not on his contract. But what I'm doing on Amari Cooper's deal here, I'm saying this. We'll give you 1 year, $10 million, okay? All guaranteed money. But I'll boost it up to $13 million. Number one, if we make the playoffs, a certain amount of catches, and you have to give me at least 70% of games played this year. I want an incentive-based $3 million contract. This way, he doesn't come and say, you know what, I'm going to be Michael Gallup. I'm taking the money, and I'm going to retire. I want to come back and then quit again with the Raiders. I don't want that. You got to play to earn your money. 99% of these people that go into work, Eddie, they go to work to receive a paycheck. NFL is this same damn thing. Go to work and get your paycheck. Deserve your paycheck. So that's what.
Washington that Gallup did that too, basically.
Now there is the rumor here, Eddie, that Green Bay is putting a package deal for Parsons. I did hear that, Michael. I don't know what they said they're willing to give up, but I'm Eddie. If I'm Green Bay, okay, on the phone right now, I'm at Lambeau Field, and I'm saying, well, I don't know what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys down there. Hey, get on the horn and call the idiot Jerry right now. Eddie, if I'm on the phone to say, hey Eddie, how you doing today, man? Hey, this is Paul from the Green Bay Packers. What's going on with the Parsons contract? I'm hearing good things and bad things. Well, just keep me in mind, what I'm willing to give up here. Talk to me, Eddie. What do I have to give up for you to give me Parsons?
First, it would be a couple first rounders at least.
Okay, well, Eddie, how many first rounders you talking? I'm on the phone with you, Eddie. Eddie, you're talking first rounders, Eddie. What are we talking about? Next year's first round pick? Is that what we're talking about? That's it?
First round next year, not the year after, but like 2026, 2028, and 2030. Then Rashawn Gary, because Dallas needs to get a decent pass rusher in return. And you're going to have to trade me one of those. You're going to have to trade me the receiver, Savion Williams, to give us that big receiver.
Eddie, I'm sorry. I think I just lost connection with you. I'm hanging up. Eddie, I like that. I like the enthusiasm, but Eddie, he's a generational player, Eddie, a Reggie White type number player. But the problem is with the Green Bay Packers, Eddie, I don't want to trade him. Number one, it's not in our division, it's conference. But number two, Eddie, think about what you're getting back, Eddie. Yes, the NFC North is stacked, okay? You got Chicago on the uprise. You got Detroit and Minnesota both going 13-4 with, new OCs and everything coming out of those three teams there. But, Eddie, the Green Bay Packers right now are still a playoff team, okay? They're still going to be 25-31, Eddie, right now, okay? I don't want to give up Parsons for two 25-pick players, Eddie, back-to-back. I can't do it. If you're going to trade you, I'm trading you to the Carolina Panthers, brother. That's where I'm trading you. So I get a top 5 pick in the next 2 years, Eddie.
But I think teams like Carolina's not going to be willing to trade for Micah just because I think they're trying to think to the far future.
I think they're trying to build around, Bryce Young first. They got to build that offensive line first because you got to keep him up. He's one of the smallest QBs. So, but no, I really like a team that would have to be within the top, I wouldn't say top 15 in the NFL for a draft pick next year, Eddie.
There's a team that I heard trade rumors that might be trading that they're talking about trading their star defensive end called the Cincinnati Bengals and I heard the team they're trading to is the Raiders. Maybe the Bengals, if they trade Hendrickson, maybe they're going to be looking for another defensive superstar to replace Hendrickson.
Okay, here's the deal. Here's my philosophy on what you just said. Okay. If Hendrickson gets traded, He's not going to get traded just as a trade. The only way the Raiders would take him is a sign and trade.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. If they sign him and trade him, Eddie, think about the number Hendricks is going to demand. In the league, he's number one in the league, the last 2 years in sacks and productions, okay? Better number than TJ Watt. Better number than Parsons. Better number than Myles Garrett. The leading guy right now that's not signed without a contract in negotiation. If it's a sign and trade, that tells me if that happens on a sign and trade, he goes anywhere. Parsons is not going to sign unless he gets number one money, Eddie. That's what's going to hurt the Cowboys. Every day I wake up, I'm thinking, please tell me either two things. Parsons got signed first, or number two, please don't tell me Hendrickson's got signed and traded somewhere. Because if that happens, the price for Parsons just went up another zero, Eddie, or another couple million.
I can see the Raiders doing that. Look who their head coach is. Want to know what Seattle built their team around when they won? Their defense.
Well, the Legion of Boom, the Legion of Boom. But, I mean, the offense
Hendrickson
wasn't a slouch.
Hendrickson and Crosby together, I can really see that happening for the Raiders.
That is true. I mean, I think they do still have the money to do that. I'm definitely going to be watching Ken Silver and Black show about that one. I'm going to ask him about that too. But Michael did say right quick before we get out of here, one proposed trade scenario has involved the Packers sending Jalen Reed, Javon Bullard, a 2025 first-round pick, a 25 third-round pick to the Cowboys in exchange for Parsons and a sixth-round, Eddie. So you're only getting exchange for next year. I need more.
Who the hell is Bullard?
Bullard. Who is Bullard? Yeah, who is Bullard? Actually, I don't even know who Bullard is. Is he? He's that linebacker. No, that's Kevin Bullard. Javon Bullard. I think it's a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Jake Reed is.
Jaden Reed's a good wide receiver, but okay, where was he last? He's a good wide receiver, but I don't want a wide receiver that I'm going to have three wide receivers that two of them are going to have to get paid next year. I don't want that. I don't want expiring contracts, and you got to give me more. I'm not giving away the best NFL player just to build 1 year of draft picks, Eddie. I want Eagles terms. I want 2025. I want something 2026. I want to go down to 2030. That's what I want, something bigger than that.
That's why I had the 3 first-round picks there, 2026, 2028, and 2030.
I'd be okay with you give me first round this year, first round next year, then you give me 2027, 2028, one third round pick. But you got to give me a player in return to make my 53-man roster, something that I need.
Williams really just because Williams has the side and he's on a rookie contract.
Second proposed trade from the Green Bay Packers. Sporting News suggests that some trade possibilities include multiple first-round picks, second-round pick, and a talent. Now, see, that's something I would be open to. You got to give me multiple first-round picks and a couple. If you give me a first-round pick for the next 2 years, I'm okay with that. But you got to give me something in return that could fill my either rotation spot. But you got to give me 2025 next year, 2026 first round. You got to give me a 2027, a 2028 second round pick. I'm okay with that. I like that, Michael. I like that right there. Lucas Van Ness, he's an older linebacker though. I mean, I'd be okay with him, but I got to look at his contract for the next year too, because I can't have another guy that's going to be. He's not going to be a Parsons, but I like that. I like the Sporting News, what they reported there. I heard the Eagles have rumored in Hendrickson. The problem is that's going to be so much money where you have so many players. I mean, I just can't see it happening because he's going to demand $30-some million a year, and you got Jordan Davis coming up, Jalen Carter coming up. One of those are going to be gone, of course, we know. But then you got Dijon, you got Mitchell still on a rookie contracts coming up. You still got a lot of people to play. I don't see it happening, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can't see that. I can't see it. If it does, it happens. But the Eagles could trade Jackson Hunt or Jordan Davis or whatever picks for Henderson. I don't think they want Jordan Davis, honestly. And Jackson Hunt at defensive end, I don't think they want him either. He's not the guy. I think all things are on Shamar. What's his name? Shamar Stewart. You know, the draft pick this year, Eddie. I think they're going to put all eggs in the basket on him and just deal with him and then work through the draft next year because. To me, Cincinnati has been always saying, build the offense, Eddie. build the offense. We can score 50 points a game. We don't care if we give up 40. They don't care about the defense, Eddie. They don't do it. They don't care.
They're going to score 50, but they're going to give up 55.
Well, I mean, last year, Eddie, they did lose. They scored 40 points, and they lost 3 games scoring 40 points last year. Scoring 40 points, Eddie, that tells you something that, yes, the offense is great. It's a $120 million offense each year, just like us, Eddie, you know. But our thing is, our defense is a lot better than Cincinnati. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
If I'm Joe Burrow and the Bengals fails on the defensive side, he should consider pulling an Andrew Luck and retire early.
Oh man, that's one guy, Eddie. I loved when he came out of Stanford. I tell you, Eddie, I remember watching his draft room when he got drafted. Do you remember what he pulled out the minute he got drafted, Eddie? Do you remember this?
Ooh.
Andrew Luck. Here's a trivia question. I still remember this in my head. It's always in my head. They said, with the first pick and the whatever draft he was, the Indianapolis Colts select, Andrew Luck, quarterback, Stanford University. Do you remember what he pulled out? First thing he did? It has something to do with this right here, a phone.
Drawing a blank. It's been so long.
He pulled out a flip phone.
Oh.
And I couldn't believe it. All the announcers were saying, like, my God, he's going to be a millionaire and he still has a flip phone. And they interviewed him, like a couple weeks after. And I remember him saying, he was like, it doesn't matter what phone I have or what I use. It makes calls. It's not going to make me a better player. I'd rather have a phone that does the job rather than having an empty pocket with a great phone. To me, that will always stick in my mind, Eddie, that he's humble, but he retired too early, Eddie. He was something special. I really do.
The Colts front office failed him big time. They never got him an offensive line until they didn't draft Brian Kelly until Luck had retired. So
exactly, they didn't put pieces around him. I mean, you get a franchise QB. The first thing is a left tackle. You got to go out and get him, and they never even did that. If the Eagles had a defense, they would be in the season Super Bowl. Agreed. I mean, think about it. If you have an offense that averages 33 points a game last year for the entire season, and you start out 0-3 in the beginning of the season, okay, and you're 1 game away from the playoffs, but you're scored 33 points a game, and you lose as much as you do. Just imagine if you score 33 points a game, and you only give up the average 20 points a game, Eddie. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good, though.
Joe Burrow Joe Burrow took an average defense and made it to a Super Bowl, which is an average defense.
Well, in the last 2 to 3 years, wasn't it like not last year, but the year before that, he had the most sacks in the NFL by like 20 sacks in the NFL, and that was the year that he had his best year, Eddie. Well, last year, the last of the season, was an incredible year, but just imagine if they keep this kid upright and give him a defense. Good God, kid, the number would be insane. Insane. But, Eddie, you ready to get out of here, man?
Yep.
All right, so next week we are going to have Dan Connor on the Cowboys Weekly at 9:30, of course. And also next week, if you're a big fan of the NFC East, we got you here. The NFC East War Room will be debuting Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eddie, I'll be on the first show. Eddie will be on the second show. Every week, Eddie and I are going to rotate back and forth. We're going to have a numerous bunch of Eagles fans on there each week. We're going to have Dan. He's a solo Giants fan because there's only one out there that's willing to come on the show, and that's Eddie. Norm will be on there. Our old host Steve will most likely be hopping on as the Redskins, analyst. Of course, they're the brave one to come in. But Eddie, I'm really hyped about this as well. Next week it's going to be on Friday night, college football frenzy again. I can't wait for that, Eddie. I can't wait to talk some college football, brother. I'll tell you that, man. Oh, God,
I can't wait to get my turn on the rotation there. Tom Kelly, Norm, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I want you.
Well, I know week 1 we're going to be hopping on the Patterson Fanatics with them too. We'll chalk it up as well. That's going to be opening week. We're definitely going to have them on the show. Maybe that week we'll have about 3 or 4 people on the show. We'll have just a fun night, trash talking on the Cowboys Weekly. Of course, also on the Patterson Fanatics, we'll have there. Real quick, who is Joe Burrow's running back? That is Chase Brown is going to be his running back. Which, if you're playing fantasy, I might take Chase Brown as my utility back because I don't think Sam Pirine is going to challenge
thought-
for a first-round spot.
I thought Pirine was on the Denver Broncos.
No, Pirine is actually on the Bengals.
He came back to the Bengals.
I think he did because I had a draft a couple of nights ago, and I was like, okay, I got to look at the backs right here because I'm the type of guy that it kind of sounds. I mean, I'm one of those crazy people where I look at I have a chart in my room right here with all the draft people on there. 1, 2, and 3. I'm one of those guys. But I think Sam Pirine actually is with the Bengals. Let me look real quick. Samaje Pirine is on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, he must have left Denver this offseason then.
And then your backup after that is Taj Brooks. So yeah, he is on there definitely. Mm-hmm. Yep. Also, good show. Appreciate you, Michael. Appreciate you, brother.
Taj Brooks was another running back Dallas should have looked into in the draft. Because he's a bigger rusher.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Eddie, give it to the Giants guy next week. That's going to be Dan Connor. He's going to be on there with us. Check him out. Actually, you want to give him a hard time. Wednesday night, 7:30, out of the box. Make sure you check into that. That's going to be some fun. He's debuting it again. The Big Blue Power Hour is going to be back. So make sure you check that out as well. Give him a hard time because I know I will be. I'll tell you that because we get it enough being a Cowboys fan. So it's time to, share the love and give to another team out there. So can't wait for that.
To be fair, Danny is the one Giant fan that's old enough to remember when they were good, unlike the other Giant fan that.
Well, at least they've won in this century. We haven't won shit in this century. You know what I mean? As Tom always says, what is it? At least they've won in the 2000s. You know what I mean? And we haven't won since the 1900s, I guess. Right? Burrows is throwing the ball over 30 times again. That poor guy might want to pull Andrew Luck. I agree. I mean, God. I mean. I think that, to me, if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going to think Chase Brown's going to have a good year because you're going to be keying on Higgins. You're going to be keying on Jamar Chase and the other guy. What's his name? Ibusa, the young kid.
I think so.
Yeah, something like I can't say his last name. Ianusa or something like that. He's a good, talented wide receiver as a third. So I think Chase Brown's going to have a lot of looks. I think their linebackers got to pull and spread out a little bit. So, but they got to give him some defense, man. Number one, they got to give the guy some defense. But, Eddie, what's your final thoughts before we get out of here, brother?
To be fair, it wasn't the offensive line that was the Bengals' biggest problem. Joe Burrow was actually able to stay up pretty much for most of the season. So
yeah, a lot better than he was before. Yeah, I give him that.
Yeah, that's my final word is that we need to hope that the Cowboys offensive line that our offensive line coach can pull off a miracle, get those guys to a couple of those guys to maybe can get one decent year out of Steele, maybe. Cross our fingers.
I hear that. Yeah, my final thoughts.
That would make him the greatest. That would make him the greatest offensive line coach of all time if he can pull one good year out of Steele.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. My final thoughts are this week. I just want to come out and see who's going to make that 53-man roster. There's always going to be some surprises out there. Kind of curious, after that game when we see who makes the final 54-man roster. And then, of course, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at waiver wires out there to see who got cut, who can take a position that can get on our practice squad, and then we release somebody else. Because even though you're the 53-man guy, the Mr. Relevant number 53 to make a team, that doesn't make you 100% on the team because there's waiver wires out there. Somebody could get picked up, and that 53-man guy could be gone, and he'll be on, the waivers out there for another team. So I just want to see this week coming out healthy. I don't want anybody to get injured because it's still, even though you're a starter, 22-man starter from, 23 to 53, you're made to team, but I don't want to see anybody get hurt because that is their livelihood, Eddie, because a lot of these players have been practicing for trying to make a team for 4 to 5 years now that's lived on the practice squad. So I like to see one of those guys get their shot because stars are made on special teams, Eddie, and I want to see some good football this weekend, but I can't wait because college football starts also.
Yeah, and sometimes you can find a miracle like in the 6th or 7th rounder, like a Tom Brady or a Brock Purdy. Or
Eddie, I don't think there's ever going to be another Tom Brady where he drafted Eddie. That makes
yeah,
it like his
maybe
background.
another Brock Purdy could be a
Yeah,
possibility.
Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, I mean he's kind of played his balls off for Mr. Irrelevant. Who would have thought Mr. Irrelevant coming from Iowa State Cyclones, Eddie? Like think about that. You know what I mean? Like never would have thought. Never would have thought. Never would have thought. Eddie, Michael's giving us my final 2 thoughts. 2 weeks can't come fast enough. I agree, man. Like I can't wait for I'm in heaven. Like starting this Saturday, even though it's I think it's 9 games. Not a big slate of big games, but Iowa State, Kansas State to start off my season. And then I'm going to have football on. I'm going to have, still preseason Monday, preseason Thursday. Friday night football is going to happen again. I got the college show on Friday night. Saturday, I got soft weekend of college football. I'm ready to go, man. I can't wait for football season. Gosh, I can't wait, But, Eddie, you ready to get out of here? And we'll be back next Wednesday at 9:30 on Primetime, Cowboys Weekly, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and that thing we call Tiki Tiki Talk Talk. We're there, too. So you ready to get out of here, brother?
Yep, brother.
All right, my name is Paul. That is Eddie. This is Cowboys Weekly. We'll see you next week, 9:30 prime time. Make sure you have your popcorn ready so we can discuss a couple things. Who looked good, who looked bad, and that one guy named Micah Parsons. So we'll see you next Wednesday night. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody.
Strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. Alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time. No limits, no change, no walls